Hello, everybody.
May 28, 2025. I'm David A. Ricke, District Judge. I will note for purposes of today's docket, Darren Deviney, Butler County Attorney, appears for the state of Kansas and the interest of that office. First case that I have on the list this afternoon is State of Kansas versus Jeffrey Allen Jones. There's an individual seated at the jail Zoom location. Are you Jeffrey Allen Jones?
Yes, sir.
This is case number 2024 TR 2733. I see an order of bench warrant bond forfeiture. According to the paperwork, you were to have appeared on April 23, 2025, and you did not do so. Mr. Jones, why is that?
I had the date written down wrong in my calendar on my phone.
Bummer.
Yeah.
And now you're in custody on a no bond hold out of traffic court. The next, let me see, Mr. Jones, the charges that are currently before the court apparently are driving while your license is suspended or canceled, a Class B non-person misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in the county jail and up to a $1,000 fine with a $100 minimum fine, or both the jail and the fine. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
All right.
Let's turn it off if it's because my speaker was working.
Right. If there's somebody on this meeting who isn't being called, they need to stay muted until their case is called. All right. Before I can accept your plea of guilty, Mr. Jones, you'd have to be willing to waive legal counsel in the case. You do have the right to an attorney and their advice in this case. And if you can't afford one, the court can appoint one for you. Are you sure you want to enter a guilty plea?
Not guilty then.
All right, then I'll enter a plea of not guilty then. We will set a future court date. Can you afford to hire your own lawyer?
Not right now. I can't.
Are you
I'm not
working?
even sure I still have a job.
Okay. I will appoint Darren Patterson to represent you and set your case for August 4, 2025 at 8:00 a.m. Again, that's August the 4th at 8:00 in the morning. Judge Webster's Court. That'll be a Zoom docket.
Okay.
You must fully participate at that time.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jones, we need to discuss your status. Do you have other holds on you besides this case?
No, I do not, sir.
Okay. Well, what I'm worried is that you're going to write the date and time down wrong again on your calendar, and then you're not going to show up next time.
No, he gave it to me right here.
That doesn't mean that you're going to refer to it and show up for court now, does it?
Oh, it does. I don't like being in here.
Okay, I get that. How long have you been in there, Mr. Jones?
A week.
Have you?
Yes.
What do you mean a week? What day did you go in?
Last Thursday.
You didn't make an appearance on Friday?
I was told when they booked me, I was supposed to appear on Friday. I got called down here and they said I wasn't on the docket, so they sent me back to my cell. And then I wasn't called yesterday.
All right. Mr. Jones, where are you currently residing?
Columbus, Kansas.
Okay. Does Columbus, Kansas have addresses?
Yes.
Okay. In Columbus, Kansas.
Yes.
All right. I think a valuable lesson may have been learned today, Mr. Jones, about showing up for court when you're supposed to.
Yes, sir.
And you've got that date and time on a
Yes,
paper
sir.
before you?
Yes. Yes, I do, sir.
State, take a position regarding bond here, Mr. Deviney.
Your Honor, his prior bond was a $1,000 OR bond initially. That, as you said, escalated to a no bond hold fairly quickly. And I'd say, given the fact that he's already done potentially about 5 days in custody on this case, I think a $1,000 cash or surety would be appropriate, but to make sure he attends his next court appearance. But I think that we need to revise the no bond hold status.
I agree. Court will set bond at $1,000 cash or professional surety required. With the assistance of a bondsman, you should be able to obtain your release, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, sir.
1,000 cash or surety, but don't forget about that court date.
I will not, sir.
Okay. Anything else at this time we need to address, Mr. Deviney?
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
All right. Then the Jones matter will be in recess at this time. We'll move on to another matter.
Thank you, sir.
Are you Daniel Snider?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is State of Kansas versus Daniel O. Snider. It's case number 2024 CR 11. Darren Devaney appears for the state. Daniel Snider appears from the jail Zoom location. Docket notes indicate defendant made a first appearance on May the 29th. Court date was set for July 15 at 2:30. Docket notes from July 15 indicate that the defendant failed to appear. This court ordered a bond forfeiture bench warrant with a no bond hold. Does make me wonder, Mr. Snider, why you didn't show up for your felony court appearance like you were supposed to?
I was in the hospital. I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm sure you get that excuse a lot. I got out the day before, actually. They told me to get bed rest, and I fell asleep. And I woke up the next day around 5 p.m. and I realized I'd missed court. I came to Butler County about a week or two later. I tried to turn myself in. I found it incredibly hard to do that, and I just couldn't do it.
All right. Mr. Snider, your failure to appear essentially forfeits your OR bond privileges in this case.
Yeah.
The court will reset a bond in this case and lift the no bond hold, but I'm going to set the bond at $5,000 cash or professional surety required.
Is that $500 in or?
Well, that's between you and the Bosman, but I think that's generally in accord with what their fee is.
I'm just on disability and I don't have no money at all. I lost all my money between Sedgwick County and here, and I don't know how I lost all my money, but something to do with transfer. I lost all my money.
I understand that, Mr. Snider, but when you don't show up for a felony court appearance, when you've had the privilege of an OR bond, which very few people get in a case like this,
Understand.
indicates to the court that you need to have a surety bond in place.
Okay.
The court's going to set it at this point at $5,000 cash professional surety and reset your case on this court's docket for July 7, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. If you do make that bond, Mr. Snider, you'll need to make sure that you appear at the Butler County Judicial Center in El Dorado, Kansas to appear for court that day. July 7, 2:30 p.m.
Okay.
Mr. Watts remains your attorney. As stated earlier, bond is now $5,000 cash or professional surety required.
Are you able to help me? Are you able to help me get a phone call to my family? I have no money at all to call them.
I think a proper request to the jail, they'll let you use the phone.
Okay.
I think you should have that opportunity, frankly.
Okay.
All right. So, Devaney, unless there's something further we need to address from your perspective, we'll move on.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Snider matters in recess. Okay, are you Luke Nelson?
Yes, sir.
This is State of Kansas versus Luke Alexander Nelson, case number 2025 CR 224. Darren Devaney appears for the state of Kansas. Luke Nelson appears from the jail Zoom location. Docket notes from Judge Crumb's court indicate that there was a court appearance apparently scheduled for May the 14th of 2025. Defendant failed to appear. Defendant apparently was on the first appearance docket the Monday before and advised to appear on the 14th. Defendant was not in custody. The court issued a bench warrant with a $3,500 cash or surety bond. You apparently were picked up on a warrant, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you just appear on the 14th when you were told to?
I was not aware. I was at St. Joe's Ascension Hospital for 4 days, and I did not have my phone. It was in the possession of the police. They had found it one day and somebody had turned it in. And I didn't hear about it till the day I got back from the hospital, and I immediately tried to call the courthouse to try to set a date. They were not able to do so. I even went to the police station itself to try to turn myself in and set a date. And all they did was give me the first page of the police report. And I've tried since then, and nobody gave me any information until my grandma called me and told me, hey, the sheriff's just stopped by here. They're on the way to pick you up. And I met them outside, and here I am. But yeah, unfortunately, I just wasn't aware of the first one due to being at St. Joe's.
There, you do have a bond established by Judge Crum at $3,500 cash or surety. The charges pending are interference with law enforcement, a level 9 non-person felony, in case number 25 CR 224. And count 2 is criminal trespass, a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Count 3, criminal damage to property, a Class B misdemeanor. The felony is involved, so the proper scheduling would be on Judge Crumb's felony preliminary hearing docket. And that would be June 16, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. That will be the next scheduled court date in Judge Crumb's court for you, Mr. Nelson, June 16, 2:30 p.m.
Judge, I show this as Satterfield's case.
That's correct. That is correct. All right. Then I'm going to reset your date, Mr. Nelson. Judge Crumb did the first appearance. However, this is Judge Satterfield's assigned case. Judge Satterfield's docket would be July the 14th at 2:30. July 14, 2:30 p.m. That is the next court date. The thing that troubles me, Mr. Nelson, you act like you didn't have information, but the docket notes indicate that on the 14th of May, you were advised to appear, you were advised to appear on the 14th, apparently told that the Monday before. You're saying that's when you were in the hospital?
Yes, sir. My grandparents have my, the notes from the hospital. I still have my packet from the hospital. Yeah, there was a few days where I was, where the issues had arisen. And I sustained a bunch of injuries throughout that time and was having some difficulties. So I went to St. Joe's, and I was there for 4 days recovering. And yeah, as soon as I got back home is when I heard about it. Because up to that point, I had no phone, no contact with anybody that I knew. Yeah, it was a rough week, but I've managed to recover my phone and my wallet since then. And all that stuff. But yeah, I was not aware of the date until I got back from the hospital.
Shavini, this court was far less concerned about a June 16 court date. However, noting that it's Judge Satterfield's case and it's not going to be heard until July the 14th, the court's concern arises. Your recommendation regarding bond status here?
Well, Your Honor, we're looking at, felony charge and 2 misdemeanors. Not fully aware of every detail of the case, certainly, but I still think a $3,500 cash or surety bond seems to be reasonable given the fact that the felony charge is interference with law enforcement.
Mr. Nelson?
That seems reasonable to me. So yeah, I just got to get a hold of my grandparents because I was supposed to be moving into the Second Chance house today. And I had a meeting with the South Central Mental Health Facility tomorrow to get me into a program with them. So I've been going to AA every day and doing this proper steps to try to correct everything that has been going on. So yeah, I will try to get that bond paid off as fast as possible. So yeah, I can actually show you guys that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Lead bond, we're set at $3,500 cash or professional surety required. You're not to have any contact with the victim or her property or the witnesses that are endorsed in the case as conditions of that bond, and of course appear for all scheduled court dates, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you afford to hire your own lawyer?
It's entirely up to my grandma. I could not personally, but my grandma was going to help me with this whole process.
All right, then I'm going to appoint James Watts at this point. You can replace Mr. Watts with your own lawyer of your choosing at any point.
Yes, sir.
But for now, James Watts is appointed to represent Mr. Nelson. $3,500 cash or professional surety bond remains. Court date with Judge Satterfield, July 14th. 2:30 p.m. You must appear at the Butler County Judicial Center in El Dorado, Kansas on that date.
Yes, sir.
For your next court appearance, Mr. Nelson. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. That should conclude the business in the Nelson case at this time. We'll move on to another matter. All right. Paula Smith.
Yes.
This is State of Kansas versus Paula Smith. It's case number 2023 CR 387. Darren Devaney again appearing for the state. Ms. Smith, from the jail Zoom location. I have a warrant to show cause alleging probation violation, failing to obtain suitable employment, failing to report as directed, failing to attend MRT, failing to make any payments toward the case, and failing to complete Senate Bill 123 alcohol and drug treatment.
I actually am in treatment.
I'm just saying, telling you what the allegations are. I don't know if there's a basis for these allegations at this point or not. I'm just letting you know that's what you face.
Okay.
The hearing will need to be set before your assigned judge, which I believe is the Honorable Charles M. Hart.
Yes.
Judge Hart's next docket for that purpose would be June the 13th at 2:30 p.m.
Okay.
If
Sorry.
you make bond in this case, you must appear at the Butler County Judicial Center
Okay.
in El Dorado, Kansas, and no other location on that date.
Yeah.
June 13, 2:30 at the Judicial Center.
All right.
And you'll need to report, if you make bond, you'll need to report to your probation officer as that officer directs between now and time of court.
Okay.
All right, now, can you afford to hire a lawyer to represent you on this warrant?
No.
Did you have court-appointed counsel before?
Yeah, Fawfurm.
Okay. Well, this was a felony conviction. I'll appoint James Watts. He may give the case to Mr. Favre, but for now, James Watts will be appointed.
Okay. Do you know if my bond could be lowered at all?
Well, let's look and see what your bond is.
Because I mean, I have employment. I could start June 1st or June 1st if I'm out.
Okay. Judge Hart, who's the assigned judge in the case, set your bond at 7,500 cash or professional surety required.
Okay.
Ms. Smith, there's a whole laundry list here of things that you've been accused of not doing, including failing to report. Court sees there's at least some reasonable basis for that bond amount, and I'm gonna leave it where Judge Hart said it. You can apply to Judge Hart for relief, but now the bond is $7,500 cash or a professional surety required.
Yeah.
James Watts appointed at this point. Court date, July, let me look and see where I set that.
June
Did
13th.
June 13th, 2:30 p.m.
All right.
All right. Anything
Thank
else, Mr. Devaney?
There you are.
Smith matter will be in recess.
Thank you.
I think that's all the jails cases, correct?
That's it, Your Honor.
Very well. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Too.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.